What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 24th episode of Trench Talk. My name is Anonymous22. I'm here with my two usual co-hosts, LTR and NRV. LTR, how are we doing today?
Good, man. Market's been really hot. Can't complain. It's been great. Just in the trenches. Vibes are great. Obviously, some bad stuff here and there, but I mean, it's crypto. It's gonna happen. So, just enjoying this hot market while it's still here. Unfortunately, I'm starting to see some, froth is indistinguishable from adoption, right? So, like, my homie on Snapchat hit me up today and showed him a picture of him trading on Photon. I'm like, oh shit. I don't know how to feel about this. But we'll see how it ends.
Yeah, my coworker that I basically got hired with is like, so what do you do all day? Because like we have like a down period of work, and he's like, kind of figured out I'm into shitcoins, so I showed him a couple Telegram channels. I'm like, you gotta just figure it out, dude. But I ain't gonna show you. So good luck, brother. Have fun. You gotta lose like I did for the past 2 years.
I didn't tell this guy anything, bro. He just sent me a snap randomly of him. He knows I do crypto, but like, he just sent me a snap of him like trading on Photon. I'm like, fuck.
It's so over. NRV, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, dude. Obviously, Bitcoin's going crazy. Seems like ETH and Solar catching up a little bit. The Bitcoin dominance this cycle is actually one of the craziest things I've seen. A lot of people are like reacting like really strange to like, why aren't my coins pumping? Like, yo, it's Bitcoin dominance. You need to chill. It'll come. Yeah, and I've seen like Bonk Guy and Ansem talking about like how important it is to focus on AI memes, and that's like where my head's been at for a couple weeks. I've really just been like continuing to research the space, not taking like a ton of trades, but I'm like constantly reading stuff and researching every day, and I think I really want to like diversify more deeply into specific AI projects. So I mean, right now it seems like if you buy anything that looks decent, it's gonna go crazy. So yeah, market's good. The TikTok meta stuff I found interesting and funny.
Just a chill guy, bro.
Lots to talk about with all that stuff, even outside of that coin too. But yeah, dude,
We'll
it's
talk about
exciting
it.
times.
That
And also,
coin,
LTR, like I'm seeing that froth too. Like I have normie friends texting me.
it's
'Cause they've
scary,
known this is
man.
all I've
Like,
been doing for a few years, and I'm like, it's hard to like gauge with yourself. Like, are we nearing the top? Like, how long does this last? You know? But
that's the thing is,
I still don't think we're close to it at all.
I'm hesitant to say we are, but I'm also seeing stuff that's like, oh, Bitcoin, just broke all-time highs. How can you think this is a top? So there's that like sense of deniability, right? And
Yeah,
I'm trying to be open-minded with like, hey, it could be a top, right? Like, like Trump could die tomorrow or something. God forbid, but we never know what's going to happen in the future. So I would just say like, don't make selling or buying a black and white bipartisan decision, right? Like take profits on the way up, and then you won't worry as much. Don't try and stable the top. I think that's my biggest piece of advice.
yeah. I had a friend like in one of my trading groups. He saw like the Gen Z quant TikTok rugger kid like do that, and like a lot of people were like talking about the rugging, and he's like these new pairs are getting disgusting. He's like, this is a top signal. Do you remember all the celebrity rugs? He's like, I'm stabling 40% of my port, and I'm like, okay, you're crazy.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But like, I would be careful just in general, because like Steve Lacey or Lacey, FaZe Lacey, one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, was like on Solana aping coins.
Oh,
So
I
it's
didn't
kind
see
of
that.
like, yeah. So it's kind of like, I mean, Banks is crypto native, right? So I
Yeah, it
wouldn't
makes
take
sense.
that like totally, but just in general, I think retail's coming a lot quicker than a lot of us expected, and so I would be really careful as far as like with froth.
I know a bunch of crypto guys were linked up with those phase dudes during I think it was Complex Con last
Yeah,
week.
Thread guy's close with Banks. It's
Yeah.
probably nothing and stuff. So
Yep. Yeah, anyways, let's get into it. I know we got a pretty fire guest here.
Yeah, look at that. Mr. QWERTY, how are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, you know. I think I agree with everything that everyone else has been saying. The market is just full of opportunities right now, so I think life is just pretty good right now.
There you go. We love to see it. Yeah, the top signal shit. God, a lot of it is starting to come together, but I'm really just like, please no.
I
Like it's so good right now. Just please no.
I don't think that I was early enough to crypto last cycle to determine like what the top was. Like I was the top last cycle. Um, and I like that was a product of we had a friend who knew crypto and he got some of our friends into crypto and then those friends got our friends into crypto and I was a part of like the fourth wave. So I think that too, there is a lot of that like you're seeing in your like IRL life right now. But I still think, I mean, like you scroll through TikTok, like there's only 1,000 people in these like TikTok live streams. Um, TJR, I mean, like I guess he's probably the biggest
Prison.
example. Like even yeah, prison, but even he couldn't breach like more than 10K viewers. So
It's a good point.
I don't think we're at the final wave. I don't think like uh the friends have extended the invites
Oh
to
yeah.
crypto yet.
I agree with that. And also, like, I think it was TraderMain or somebody else who like made this comment like a week or two ago that I really fucked with. Like, basically said like, yeah, other cycles they're important to learn from, and there are certain things that you can kind of copy paste from one to the other, but you should just simply not get in the habit of doing that because every cycle things get bigger. And the reach of the meme coin stuff that we're seeing right now is like unlike anything we've ever seen. Like the super cycle stuff is real. It's easier to create coins, it's easier to buy coins than it ever was before. This stuff is like becoming more normal to be streamed. TikTok is bigger than it ever was. So people are seeing it as like a true like financial revolution way for like younger people to make money. And I think the more that spreads, the bigger this gets. And I think it has more staying power this time around.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
a bigger
also
cycle in general.
we literally have institutional Bitcoin. Like, I mean, like literally the
Yeah,
government has a strategic Bitcoin reserve now. So
it's
like
very different
the
this time.
scope of crypto is so much larger now. I mean, obviously this could all change if something happens with Trump's presidency once he gets out of office. Like, so always be on your toes. But definitely, like this cycle's so different from others. I will also say though that like tops come quicker and markets have cycles. Like markets are cyclical. There's troughs, there's peaks.
Yeah.
So like just be on your toes. Be careful. Don't make sure to stable profits. Like you don't have to stable at all, but just don't round trip. Like literally, I have a lot of friends who have a lot of stories from last cycle about pretty much losing it all after being up 8 figures. So just be careful.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
don't round trip. Like I feel like a thing that I like to think about for that is like I like the saying like sell while you can, not while you have to.
Hmm.
Just selling green candles, because selling green candles, even if it continues to go up without you, is so much better than selling red candles, in my opinion, especially if you're on a crazy pump. Um, and so I joined at the top of last cycle, and even though I had no idea that I was literally joining at like the pico top, like the wealth effect that was created from Euphoria and like the on-chain liquidity effect, NFTs didn't even peak until like a few months like post what the actual top of Bitcoin was. So just like building off of like make sure you have enough out, you'll be able to make a stupid amount of money even after the cycle's already over and topped per se, because there will just be so much money everywhere at that point.
Yeah, I think you've been really good at that. I mean, you're one of the traders that's like chosen to go down the route of like having a trading journal or call channel or diary, whatever you want to call it, and it's grown for all the right reasons, in my opinion, just from watching it. And I've watched you like talk about the way that you sell. And obviously, like if you call something and you sell shit, like people are gonna naturally give you shit if they tail your call, right? That's just part of the game that you expose yourself to, I guess. But the way that you've sold and have like dealt with that and educated people on it is the right way, in my opinion. Like, yeah, if you're gonna sell into the chart, and there's other ways to go around that. I typically like to use LPs and whatnot, but if you're gonna sell into the chart, you should sell into volume. Like, and
Hmm.
that's not like you could full stack Hitler or something, but let's be honest, that's not necessarily good for your profits. You're gonna eat into your own
No.
profits.
Also, I think it's like a psychology thing. Like oftentimes when we first start out, we want to buy green candles and sell red candles, and it's like that's just not the way, right? Like, I mean, obviously there's a time and a place to buy tops and buy green candles. I'm not saying that, but just in general, you got to realize that you got to buy others fear and sell others
Dude,
euphoria.
Thread guy had like these normie kids on his stream the other day. I don't know how he found them. Like I joined late, but he had these people that were like new to crypto and they were on Moonshot, and he was asking them like why they bought certain coins. And one of them had actually caught Cool Guy like semi early, and they asked him why he bought it, and he was like, "Oh, I saw it on TikTok, so I bought it." And it had a green number next to it. So like people buy shit with green numbers. They buy shit that have green candles. Like they're not used to like the strategy of like, well, you should buy red because you'll make more money.
For sure.
Yeah, and going back to like the cycle top thing, I think an interesting thing, honestly, is just like I feel like people got to make money first, honestly, before we start talking about tops. Like I feel like there really should be like a new wave of people to come in.
Yeah, like the
Personally,
NFT people.
yeah, I still think there's a lot of room for people to come in, and for that wealth effect to happen. They make money. We kind of become kind of the I don't know the unks of this cycle. And then, personally, honestly, I've just decided to turn my brain off. And I sold a lot of my port before elections just because I have big things in life coming up. And I didn't want to risk it with, Kamala coming in office. I didn't think the price action would be as good. But I was able to hold the rest of my port from after elections until now. And I've decided just to turn my brain off and go back to probably stable in like 1% to 2% of my port a week. Just because I don't really know how to time this shit. I trade fucking shit coins. I don't know economic conditions or where Bitcoin, Ethereum can go. I mean, obviously with the SBR coming in, I mean it sounds like everything sounds amazing with Trump in office, but I just really don't know exactly where we could go.
I would also say just like WooPig had a really good post on this. Shout out WooPig. He said that so many people in crypto view selling and buying as binary decisions, right? You either sell it all or buy it all. You either hold it all or et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's just better to just like you DCA buy, you should DCA sell. So it's like I think your approach ain't on where it's like you stable a certain percentage of your port. It's basically DCA selling, right? And then you're also growing your port. And oftentimes outpacing that stabling just by trading meme coins. So I think it's a really good strategy.
Hopefully. Sounds smart in my head. It's a lot better than last cycle where I fucking round tripped everything. But anyways, we've kind of been rattling on a little bit. Cordy, would you be kind of down just to give a little background? I know you kind of gave a little bit of it, talking about how you joined the Pico top of the last cycle, but just, kind of give a little description about yourselves for people that haven't heard about you.
Yeah. So I joined in November. I got into NFTs. It wasn't even ETH, it was Solana NFTs. I think I bought my first Solana at like 190, so real close to the top, and it was during like that euphoria phase where you literally just had to like log on, get your Phantom, go to the public mint, click mint, and if you hit, you would instantly be up like 3 Sol. And I just remember like I told all my friends about it immediately, like all of my IRL friends. Like at one point we were doing like land minting parties. And then that was the top, and we wrote everything down. But like I was saying earlier, I actually made a lot of money like on the way down because there was so many people still trading and like believing. My biggest trade ever was like OK Bears, when those went to like 200 Sol, like deep in the bear market. But I never ended up actually selling. I thought I like hit the next Bored Ape, rode everything down to $8 Sol, like at rock bottom portfolio wise, and then Pepe happened, and then I started trading ETH with all of the people in Grand, who, if you guys don't know, obviously you guys know, but that's my group. And we'd all been together for a while, and then Pepe happened, and I just sucked at ETH meme coins, and I basically blew my entire portfolio. And I had like a real sit down conversation with myself, like seeing like all these people, like my friends, Profit, all these people start coming up, and I was like, fuck, like I just lost my entire portfolio while these guys are on their come up. So right around like a year ago, last November, when the Solana started to heat up, I took a loan out from Profit and just like went all in. Didn't really like try to give myself the option of failure, and built Grand, built my socials up, and yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
There you go. We love a good comeback story. Gotta love it. Gotta love to see people win, putting in actual work. So I guess we'll just dive right into something. I mean, honestly, there's we haven't recorded in 2 weeks, I think. something like that, and just so much shit. I mean, so much shit has just happened the past 2 weeks. Like, there's some new crazy, coin to believe in, like almost every single day. I guess first we gotta talk about Cool Guy, or what is
Chill,
it?
chill
Chill
guy.
Guy.
Chill guy.
Man, honestly, all right. Let me tell you my exact experience. Personal experience. We saw the TikTok come on my For You page around 1 mil. I open up Twitter. What is the first thing I see about this coin on Twitter? Wizard of Soho
Wizard of
shilling.
Soho.
I said, hell no, I am not buying this shit. Why would I buy this shit? Everything he shills is like basically almost Pico top. I'm good. I'm not going to buy it. All I did was search for his wallet. And I was just like, I'm over it. I'm not going to buy it. Cool, whatever. Obviously, that was a slight mistake. It was a lesson. I think I think the biggest thing to grasp from it, just a lesson to myself. So I'm just talking to myself, is due to like the amount of new people coming in, due to the new liquidity, due to like coins reaching different highs than they were like just a month or two ago. Like, I just think there's just so much more room, and I can't really FUD myself on like just little things like that anymore.
Well, I also think like if you're a new participant, you don't know who Wizard of Soho is. You're gonna see how many followers he has. Oh, he's shilling a $1 million meme coin, and he's got this many followers. Bro must be good. Bro must be a great trader. And so like I think you just gotta like almost fade yourself in that way. That like these, I think we forget that these influencers, these scammers, have so much power during bull markets. Obviously, during the bear, they have like zero, but I think especially we're just going to see them have more and more power because, I mean, with new entrants, they don't know. They don't know the history, they don't know the Zach XBT threads or anything like that. So I think we just got to play the game.
A broken clock is also right twice a day.
Amen.
Look at that.
Bro's a god at
Philosopher
TradFi, though.
weird.
I'll give him that. He's, I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he's a stock quant.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I honestly, I don't necessarily like mind Wizard of Soho. I wouldn't say that he's Confluence, but I mean, like, I don't totally neglect his opinion.
There's worse people for sure.
There's worse people, like especially during like the whole like August thing when like the Japanese like stock market shit was happening and I just really didn't have an idea what was going on.
He's
I was
smart.
low-key following his page and he was like keeping everyone like updated on top of things. So he's a dickhead and he's shilled some like absolute garbage before, but I don't fully neglect his opinion, but I know exactly what you mean. That like he was the first person to publicly shill it was kind of scary.
Yes, he is a very smart guy. I would not take any shitcoin advice from the guy though. Before this point, just
But no,
being blunt.
I think Chill Guy is like super cool. I think the last coin that like represented what Chill Guy is was Mudang, but I still think that Mudang was just a bunch of native crypto people.
Mooding was too early.
Yeah, I think that there was a certain amount of people who were definitely early to Mudang who weren't necessarily selling either, which was very important. But I mean, it did the exact same thing. All the brands were posting Mudang, super popular across TikTok. It's just no one was saying that it was a meme coin on TikTok. Chill Guy is like the first coin that actually broke the barrier. I just hope Chill Guy doesn't go to zero. Like Winter Arc, all Huzz, all this other dog shit, going to zero isn't good. But I think if Chill Guy goes to zero, that's actually like that's gonna scare a lot of people away. So I
Definitely.
actually really want to see Chill Guy succeed because it was the first coin that actually broke the barrier between CT people and TikTok. So I think if that fails, then not good.
Yeah, you
No,
need
I
your
think
safe moon. You need your safe moon and Doge moment, right? Or
Yeah.
random your barber. Like I remember when I first got to college, I went to this local barber and he was talking about, I told him what I did, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I had a homie who made like $200,000 randomly on Dogecoin." We need that. We need that
hmm
sort of onboarding. And if Chill Guy 10x's from here, even if you're not in it and you're like coping or whatever, it's going to be really good for our bags and it's going to be really good for the trenches, especially if you're an educated participant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think it's something that we don't talk about too much publicly a lot, but it is a thing. Like kind of who is holding the coin, how the coin was made, how the supply is. That also is a huge, huge factor. Because obviously, the chill guy, whatever, it was, a lot better than most of like the current relevant TikTok memes. That's why you see a lot of them just like they pumped up super fucking hard and they just kind of, shat on themselves. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see just with new people slowly coming in, which I think we should go ahead and rotate this into the Tate stuff that went on today. Would anyone like to talk about that? Because I was not there for it, but all I saw was chaos in my chats and it just looked like absolute hell.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the Issa guy literally connected his wallet, or I don't know if it was directly Issa, but I mean, like, it's just like the Daddy G wallets, like they were all in the GTA 6 coin yesterday, and all the kids in the Cobra FNF were just buying these coins, and then Tate was pulling it up. Like, it was actually just like hard to watch, and like the trenches have been so quiet after that. I think there was like one artist coin that popped up, but I mean, it was really just like terrible. It was just millions gone like in seconds.
I'm not one to like, I'm not gonna attack this Cobra FNF, but they also popped up like a day before. You know what I'm saying? Like this account,
Yeah.
everything popped up right before the stream, basically, which was kind of odd. But yeah, I noticed that too. I was telling you before we went live that I was talking to Anon. We were seeing these wallets buy this GTA coin yesterday, and I'm like, oh, Tate stream tomorrow. Suddenly all these dormant daddy wallets are buying these coins. There's about to be some crime that's going to happen, and sure enough, it did. I didn't take any part in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I really wasn't able to watch. I was sadly slammed at work, but I mean, I don't know. I thought it would have been a lot better, honestly. I guess I didn't know what I was thinking, but yeah, it just looked like just absolute piece of shits. And I'm assuming, like, any normie that, like, aped that, like, I assumed they just only lost money. So, yeah, not a good start for Mr. Tate on his trench journey here. Round 2, at least. Round 1 was interesting. But, anyways, I guess we can move into something else, because I wasn't even here for the Tate stuff, so it is what it is. Do y'all want to talk about the quant shit yesterday? That shit was funny.
That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, we should.
That shit was funny as fuck. I'm really glad to just kind of see like just new random shit pop up. Like it's just kind of refreshing. In the past it'd be like, okay, like who launched a coin? That's why we're doing it. It'd be like just some stupid ass meme. But now we're actually like, you get rewarded for being on all day and kind of pay attention to what's going on in the space. So it was nice. I don't like that they doxed the kid, but it was nice.
I think it's also just like, I think we're gonna see with government adoption and institutional buying, I think we're gonna see a lot of people go to jail this cycle. Like I'm literally saying that just because I think a lot of people are gonna get a rude awakening, U.S. citizens that is, and so like obviously this kid probably not just because he's a kid, but I definitely think it's a sign of things to come. With adoption comes even more grifters. Like can't remember how many NFT scammers there were, and I think we've only seen a small portion of that, especially with celebrities. And this kid was just an example. Like, yeah, he papered a lot because we sent it without him, right? But he still made 20 bands. Is what, like, he looks like 13. So people are gonna see that, and unfortunately, probably think they can do the same by scamming. So it's an interesting precedent.
Yeah, I know they're about to see me about to do the same thing. I'm gonna make do a live stream of me there's already the live streams today of like live streaming to like 100 mil or some shit. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Definitely be interesting. I guess another thing that we can talk about is I'm personally super interested in how Kobe has kind of resurged and how he did personally. it is something I did not have on my bingo card for Kobe to be like actually like low key kind of talking about the trenches a little bit and like actually like being super involved in Twitter again. It's very weird just because it seems like when Trump like for sure won election, like a lot of these big guys were like, all right, fuck it, balls in, let's go.
I will say I think people forget that Kobe's a degen. I've listened to most of the Up Only episodes from back in the day, and when he talks about his start, he was literally aping like the equivalent of shitcoins on BitMEX via Bitcoin, right? So he was already doing a lot of this back in the day, just in a different format. So I think it's kind of just in his nature. And frankly, I think a lot of people forget the dude has already made it. Like, not glazing or anything, but like he's retired, right? So I think he's kind of just fucking around, seeing what can he make of it. Because he hasn't really dumped on anybody or sold, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if he actually like pushes a meme coin. I doubt it, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him sell a coin yet,
Nah,
but yeah, I didn't know he was a degen. Good for him. Hopefully, we'll be the next Kobe and he can retire.
that's nerve, bro.
Prayers up. Prayers up.
We'll see.
Anyways, well, shit. I ran out of things to bring up because honestly, I have been
Solana
busy
new
as shit.
all-time highs, brother. I think okay, this is an interesting point I'm gonna bring up is people forget how much money they're burning on pump funds now with Sol being
What do you mean,
$260.
bro? It's
Like,
just one
dude,
soul, dude.
20
One
Sol is
soul is
$5,000.
one soul
Like,
is one soul. Joe,
yeah.
Joe, one soul is one soul.
No, it's getting
Always
bad.
has been.
No, it's getting bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting bad. I remember, like, specifically, like, I traded with a lot of people that were just only specific ETH forever, and I would bitch at them all day. I'm like, guys, Solana is like first episode. I was already like, Solana is the wave. It really is. It's just so much easier for people to adopt. Like normies are gonna go. You think normies are gonna go on ETH and deal with taxes and honeypots and shit? No, they're gonna buy stupid non-ruggable pump fund Zoomer coins. Like it was so much easier and just such like I don't know. It was so easy for me to kind of like almost full port Solana this cycle, but it is getting to the point where I'm like, damn, this is getting to a lot of money. Like fuck, I ate 5 Sol and it's like 12.50. Like Jesus.
Yeah, I mean the same thing. I think last cycle too. Like when I joined, like it was just so easy to like set up Phantom and like even though like Ethereum NFTs were like where like the money was at last cycle, like it just like the gas and like none of that stuff made sense to me. Like my first time loading up OpenSea, I literally think I just like burned like so much money on gas, just like having no idea what I was doing. Um, but as for like Sol being expensive right now, I think that like I mean like with the same way that like 5 Sol is like 12.50, it also means that like pump funds are migrating like above 100K market cap. Like you can like actively trade a pump fund like uh in the range before it migrates and like make like a couple $1,000s, which is kind of like funny to think about. But kind of going back to the quant thing, with how much money Sol is and like something like quant, there will always be like a new story, and there now that there's more money and your tokens are worth more money, when a good narrative like that comes out, like the stuff that has been happening on chain recently, like coins go up faster than ever. Like 50 Sol moves the market cap like almost $1 million, which I think is like cool. Because if you're early and you have like an edge to on chain, your money being more expensive in turn is like better for trading. So you have to be more careful with it at like higher market caps, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a good thing to keep in mind. Not necessarily in like low caps, although some people just oversize into low caps anyways. But like especially swing trading, I find that usually when I swing trade, I think about it in USD terms more than Sol. But like when I'm playing low caps, it's more like ape 5 Sol, ape 10 Sol rather than like ape a USD amount. Um, at least that's how I like to do it. But I think it's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's also weird thinking about how like I think my brain has been trained like through the chop for the last 7 months that like 1% of a 1 mil coin is obviously like 10K. Like for so long, what was the math on that? It was like 70 soul. Now it's like you're worth like 40. So the actual like number of soul you're worth
Yeah, it
has
feels
been
less.
it feels like you're less, but then when you actually like pull up like the photon P&L, you're like, oh fuck. Like
Exactly.
40 soul is 10 bands. So I think that's why it's important to realize that also a lot of the first thing we were talking about, a lot of your money at this point, um, it's safe to roll out. Like it's super safe to roll out because you're making less soul. The returns from like making 5 soul at 130 and then holding it up to here, like congrats, you made more soul for cheaper and now you held it and it's worth more. But at these prices, the returns just aren't there and like I don't know. I think that you're safer to stable a lot of profits, whatever you make around here, and that's what I've been doing just because of how expensive Sol is.
Yeah, I mean, like you're never gonna go wrong like stabling 50% of any profit, right? Like at least you're
Especially for
holding
tax
some.
purposes too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think people forget about taxes too. And if you're evading taxes, let me just say, I've said this on the podcast before, but if you're evading taxes and you're a U.S. citizen, you're a fucking dumbass.
You're
What do you
cooked.
Um,
mean, bro?
Yeah, you're cooked.
What do
like
you
I
mean,
know
dude?
so many U.S. citizens. I'm not gonna call them out. I'm not a Fed like that, okay? But like they're cooked. They're
Me.
so cooked. They're like, or it's like,
Joe
dude,
rooted
if
for
you
me.
if you want to evade taxes so bad, go expatriate and go to a different country. Like, don't
Literally.
stay in the U.S. Like, it's so stupid.
What do you mean,
I had
dude?
a
The
I had a
government's
kid
not
hit
gonna
me
get
up.
me.
I had a kid hit me up and he's like, "Yo, I made a mill. How do I evade taxes in the U.S.?" I'm like, "Bro, shut the fuck up." I'm like,
Jesus
dude,
Christ.
he
The
literally
kid
was
he's
asking me
talking
for
about is me.
nah, he's asking me for tax evasion advice. I'm like, he thought I evaded taxes. He's like, "Yo, how do you evade your taxes?" I'm like, "I pay them." Like, I don't I what do you want me to say, dog?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I'm not looking forward to paying my taxes this year. Don't talk to me
I will
in
also
April, dude.
say, with political things, like obviously Trump is very bullish for crypto, but I think people forget like he's going to be in presidency for 4 years, and a lot can happen during that 4 years. So like Rudy was saying, like you just gotta stable some profits. You know, it's never going to harm you. You never know what's going to happen, especially broadly. And like I think people forget that just because Bitcoin does have institutional adoption, just because governments do buy into it, like dude, stocks still have bloody days. Stocks still go down. You know, a lot of these Nasdaq 500 companies will still have massive red days, or there'll be massive red months. So it's like it's not like Bitcoin's just gonna straight dick all the way to $5 million and never go down again. And I think you just got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, like the amount of like the amount of money that you'd be able to make from like holding Sol here to like 400, 500, even
Yeah,
300, like whatever your cycle prices are, like the 2x that's left in Sol is not comparable to the 100x's that you're gonna be able to catch on chain and like how good on chain is gonna be if Sol went $500. Like if Sol went $500, I would have my trading stack and that is it. Anytime I make money, it would just go straight to USD. Because I mean, once it gets to a certain point, it's like, all right, what am I even holding Sol for at this point, other than to trade with? If there's just so much going on chain, um, so I think just always rotating money into USD, it can never hurt you.
yeah. My biggest thing is honestly like I don't know shit about where these major prices are going. I'm pretty good at trading on chain, so I just kind of just stick to what I'm good at, and I just
yeah.
a little bit every week. That's
I
what
know
I do.
some traders that literally are always all in stables and trade on chain via stables, and like they make a fuck ton of money. And like obviously like yeah, do you miss out on some upside? But yeah, I mean like if you know you can hit the 100x's, 1000x's on chain, like I don't know, like it doesn't hurt to stable. Like I think people see it as like this evil act that means you're a bear, and that's not true at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. One thing, Cordy, I do want to ask you, like, was there kind of like a reason why, you kind of just started to make a big trading journal and why you started to kind of post on Twitter a lot? Was there any reasoning behind that?
Yeah. I was lucky actually like hoping you would ask that because I feel like I haven't actually like gotten a chance to talk about that. Um, So yeah, I just remember like when we were trading NFTs in 2022, I was just like right around 2023, I think when Pepe happened and like some of the better NFTs like started coming back. Like I remember thinking to myself, I was talking to all the boys and we were like, damn, like if we just grinded out Twitter for the last year, like we'd probably have like massive accounts right now. And I mean, if you're a killer trader, you don't need it, but I think there are advantages that come with having a bigger account and having reach. So it was just like during March, I kind of just committed to the idea that like, all right, I think everyone just called for the top. I'm just gonna like work my ass off for the next 7 months and hopefully blow up and have a big account during the bull run. I think a lot of benefits come from it. I mean, I don't take any paid shills or anything. I post whatever I want. I think the one thing I potentially could benefit from is I do hard shill a photon ref link, but I think it's just like I think it more than anything like I enjoy having a big audience to talk to. Um, Nothing in specific about. I guess I just like I've always been a kid who like likes to be heard, which is like half of the reason why I was super excited to like come on here. Um, so the fact that I can just like tweet some random bullshit and get like good engagement and like know that like people like have something to say about it was always something that I wanted to have access to. And then I also take a little bit of pride in the fact that I think I do share good stuff in my Telegram. Um, I feel like a lot after like I share like a big cook, like a lot of people DM me like their P&Ls, like especially after Quant the other day, and like that always just like I don't know, it's a good feeling. Um, I don't I mean yeah I guess I like the idea of having an audience and uh the whole journal thing is like I quote retweet a ton of stuff on my account. Like if you notice like every week I'll be like, oh, I kind of do this to like say like it's kind of like an I told you so thing, but also like this is cool. Like I like said this 3 months ago and now it's actually happening. So it's like I turned my like my Twitter account into like a journal or like an art project per se. It's like I laid out everything that was going to happen, and it's like, all right, I have the verifiable proof of like why I was successful for what reasons. Because like I was telling you guys 3 months ago, you know.
Yeah, no, you should definitely have some sort of pride, doing that. Like, I feel like, you're probably just doing it just to help others, and I think that's just always just going to be a good thing.
Everyone should have
Like,
a journal for trading. Like that's first off. If it's public, that's cool because you can be held accountable for it. If you're not great at holding yourself accountable. But I know a lot of people that have their own Discord that's only just them and they post every day, or a real journal in real life with notes and pen and paper. But like I think journaling and reflecting on yourself is just really good because we can all improve, right? Um, so I think that's a good point.
yeah, and also, like, another thing, like, I'm hoping, because personally, I really like what Rowdy's doing recently, how he's trying to, I think he's going to start trying to stream a lot more, which I think that's good. I think just kind of people that actually trade posting a lot and just sharing a lot of information will be really good. Just because, like, stuff like the Tate stuff today, or, even the TJR stuff that happened,
Hmm.
I think 2 or 3 days ago. Like, we don't need people joining and coming into shit like that. Like, that was, like, the TJR shit was awful. I didn't see what the hell happened, but all I saw was basically, like, homie nuked a coin, said he didn't nuke a coin. People like started like really, showing him, brother, we know it's you. And he's like, oh shit, okay, I guess I gotta tell him. Like they have to be joking. And then watching him trade on that wallet for the rest of the day, he was literally obviously just like buying up like 10% of a fucking 5K market cap coin and instantly dumping it. It was just awful to see. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, no, they're all dickheads. I think even with someone like Rowdy, I think the odds that he's actually aping a good coin are way higher because he's like a crazy trader. So like if people are gonna blindly copy trade Rowdy, they're gonna have way more success. Obviously, you still shouldn't do that, but with someone like Rowdy, but even in the event that Rowdy gets too big, like a Rowdy candle on stream could potentially be like 3 to 4 million. Um, which I don't think is good. But I think these guys all like publicly just like doxing themselves as like absolute retards, and like someone like TJR probably not as successful as he actually makes himself out to be. I think that's very bullish for people who have just like put out like very early and like correct theses, like Bonk Guy. Uh, I mean, even NRV's early AI shills, like the people who like said this stuff in the beginning, those are the accounts that will be like actually looked at. So I tweeted the other day like, oh, well, like we're fucked. Like the normies aren't actually gonna buy our coins. Like no, they aren't gonna listen to these like TikTok gurus. I don't think in the actual end game, people will listen to Murad and Bonk Guy, and that's like the best case scenario for us because they're gonna listen to the people who are smart once they realize that like TJR is someone who is literally going to lead you to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, the only fear with that, I agree with that for sure. My only fear with that is like I guess it kind of goes back to like wanting to see cool guy or excuse me, chill guy be successful. Because like you don't want these people that are quote unquote getting onboarded through TikTok and these people that are LARPing as being successful and whatnot, and then dumping on the people that are watching their streams and everything. You don't want these people to feel like they've gotten burned by crypto because that's just been the narrative that's been pushed for so long. Like it's a risky space, it's a scam, it's full of scams, shit like that. I mean, the reality is like there's life changing money to be made here. My fear would be like they get burned from following somebody like that and don't take the time to like stay in the space, educate themselves, and a lot of that takes losing your money, right? Like those L's are for learning. That's kind of the tuition that you pay. Like maybe they don't stick around the space long enough to find people like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your homie Eric had a good tweet, Accordion. It was like, how many people lost their entire port on the Tate stream today? And I think we
Yeah.
often like forget that like, yeah, so a lot of these people are coming in. Like I came into the space when I started with zero point 0.3 ETH. That's less than my current like ape amount on ETH, right? So it's like I think a lot of people are coming in with like, 1 to 5 soul or even less, and they're gonna put it all in the first coin that Tate or whatever their favorite influencer shills, and then if it goes to zero, they're like done, man, unless they get another paycheck or something. So I think we just have to be really mindful of that, and I think we can often be in our own bubble with what the P&Ls we see from our friends, the P&Ls we have on our own, and forget like where we came from, how we started, and then we just have to. I think we have to kind of protect new entrants just because ultimately they are bullish for us. Yeah, sure, we want them to buy our bags and whatnot, but we should want them to make money as well.
No, 100%. What was I just about to say? Like I was saying, so I have like the idea that there's like waves of entrants that are gonna come in, and you have like your early adopters, your like medium late, and then just like full laggards. The thing is like looking at like the App Store stuff today with Phantom climbing to like number one, like above Google and like the uh technical app whatever and Coinbase still being like outside of top 50. I think that goes to show that there's a lot of, and the TikTok streams, like then again they only have like 2,000 people, and I'm like there's a ton of more people who are doing it. Chill Guy rocketed over like 100K followers, which is impressive, but there's still so many people who aren't doing it. A lot of these kids are trying to be early with the fact that Phantom is the number one app right now. That shows that people are trying to get on chain and like trade, but it doesn't show a lot of people who, no one is coming to do this safe. We're gonna put quotes around safe, but no one is downloading Coinbase and buying Bonk for like a comfy 10x yet. And that's like what the
Right.
end of the cycle looks like. Like the adults with real money who aren't coming to gamble on TJR's fucking Diddy baby oil.
Yeah, I didn't realize Phantom had climbed that quickly. That's actually insane. I mean, that really makes me think that these TikTok streams are having a greater impact than they really are. Also, I think it's important, like, if you guys understand, like, how, like, Twitch viewership and just, like, streaming viewership works in general, like, if you see 2,000 viewers on there, that's, like, the active viewership. Like, there are people constantly rotating in and out. So, like, the amount of individual people that are hit, if you see, like, 2,000 viewers, is likely over, like, 10,000. I don't know the exact way that that works, but it's way higher than, like, the number that you see as far as, like, individual people getting impacted by viewing that stream.
That's true. That is true, yeah. But yeah, I saw something the other day too that was like uh the people who are downloading Phantom, And I mean, everyone starts somewhere. But I mean, a lot of these streams that I've seen, these people are holding like $15 in Chill Guy at like $400 million market cap. As for like rotating back to like, I think that the comfortable memes, the high caps, the things that have already established themselves on exchanges and whatnot, still end up playing out in the super cycle thesis, and that like there still will be a lot of chill guys that happen, but eventually there will be people who will be buying our memes on Coinbase. Is that like uh the amount of buying power that like TikTok could have potentially brought to like the space is like replicatable by like one person who works at like a fund. Um,
Yeah.
so I think
Are
the
you
real buying
spending
power still exists on exchanges.
Are you spending a lot of time on TikTok right now, like in your day to day, like searching for
I'm
trends? I
not
mean,
me.
I saw you like I was just looking at your Twitter, like you're
Oh
like,
yeah, I've been
oh, I
trolling
tried to
people on
troll this guy.
TikTok.
Thought I was a Bev bot. Like, are you
Yeah,
watching on your phone or
I
on?
am. I'm popping in and out. I'm trying to.
How are you finding the streamers?
You literally just scroll down your For You page, and I mean, obviously they're like spying on like what I'm interested in, so it's all I see. But I mean, every third or fourth video is something crypto related, and every like 10 videos you skip, you find another person streaming BullX, Photon, or Deck Screener. It's
Oh,
insane, man.
yeah, I gotta curate my algorithm a little better. I really
Yeah.
spend like no time on TikTok. I
If
guess
you
I
just
gotta
look up
change that.
chill guy, if you just look up how to buy chill guy on Google once, you'll be set. It'll be all over.
Okay.
But no, like I try to. One of my like favorite traders is Stacky, um, because he's just so locked in, and like he said that like he doesn't like scroll on TikTok. He just treats meme scope as his TikTok. So like he might not necessarily have caught Chill Guy because he was late, but like his come up story is pretty crazy, and like instead of doom scrolling TikTok, like he's literally just on meme scope. Like that's where his information flows from.
Yeah, I think Alan spoke about that pretty early on, as far as like it being a good indicator for like what's happening news wise. I've definitely treated it that way. I use BullX mostly, but I
It's
mean, same
insane.
difference. Like you just see like five, six, seven coins out of nowhere pop up around something, and I'm like, the fuck is this? I
I
have to
like
like
I don't
search it on
think
Twitter, and then you figure out something just happened in the news.
Yeah, I don't think anyone on crypto Twitter would have found out who Lucy was if it wasn't for Pump Fun and a coin coming out of it.
Yeah,
And then it's like all of a
exactly.
sudden someone tokenized it and it's like, oh fuck, the Vatican's mascot looks like a milady. This is hilarious. Like let's send this to hundreds of millions. Like
Yep.
I think I originally thought that Pump Fun was terrible for the space because it was during the chop where we really like didn't have a lot going for us like 3 months ago. It was pretty despair type of vibes, but I think Pump Fun is amazing. I wish it cost a little bit to deploy, like
Yeah.
even just fucking point one, um,
Agreed.
or like even just like a name gap. Like if because right now if someone tweets out something good, 10 coins migrate. So I think I think the smallest changes could maybe fix this,
Yeah,
but I mean he's
I
just
thought
too
about
big of a fan of decentralization, so I don't know if he's actually gonna do it.
I thought about that too, like a delay for tickers. Like if someone
Yeah,
deploys dog ticker, no other dog can deploy for a minute or like something. Like something and even a minute would just be enough time to where okay, the main one can go. Obviously though, I think the problem with that, like you said, is it's not truly decentralized, so people would just have news bots that deploy.
yeah, and you just
And
snipe
then
it and
like
then you hold it
yeah,
hostage.
yeah, exactly. So I think that would become the problem with that. But I definitely think there's some room for improvement. But they've been shipping as far as like they made migrations faster, and it's held up really well despite like the stress it's had on it. Like SoulScan goes down more than Pump Fund does, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I don't know. You just can't hate on Pump Fun, man. It really brought us back. I will always be grateful for Mr. Pump Fun.
And nothing hits more than like getting like 10% of a juicy narrative, bro. Like it's like the best feeling.
I sadly can't experience that anymore due to me working. I mostly just have to like just follow wallets or like random ass alerts. I'll sometimes catch like some news stuff, but like yeah, I'll sadly probably never experience the meme scope. But if you are trading, you probably should be on meme scope. Like if you're not, you're
100%.
probably doing yourself a disservice. I literally am. I'm a wagey now, so I sadly can't anymore.
You're
But
never on that shit at work, dude? Or are you just
No,
tracking wallets?
bro. Yeah,
He's
You're
on
looking at
stones,
wallet
dog.
things at work. I know you're doing
I'm
that.
on Telegram all day, dude.
Okay.
All day long. I can't. I don't
You
have
track
my
enough
free
wallets though that you're
monitor.
basically on MemeScope, right? Like,
Yeah, I almost don't miss anything. Like I have so many wallets I track. It's almost to the point like it's very rare I miss something. Very, very rare. I used to be in some groups, but I got kicked from them because I was not active anymore.
I think groups are like, I think you only need like literally one or two groups, dude. Like, I don't know. I used to be a group grinder and I'd try and get in every single group, and nowadays I just don't fucking care. And it's like I have my
It's
people.
it's
I'm gonna trade
noise
with
outside
those.
of like one or two.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, information is great, but like you can't possibly as a human see information from 20 groups. Like, yeah, so you're in all of them, but ultimately you just have your pinned
So,
Telegram chats or whatever, and yeah.
so basically, I had autism. So basically, I was able to honestly handle like 6 different groups when I was full time trading, like not having a job. But now it's like, yeah, I just don't have the time for it because I can't have 6 different chats open at the same time on just my phone. So, because my biggest thing is I would like, okay, there'd be one guy I like in this group that I would like pay attention to and if he showed stuff. But now I'm kind of just like, all right, I just got my boys, and now I'm just chilling, not doing too much, not trying to do too much either, not trying to force anything.
So
Just trying to
I got a
keep it
topic
going.
for us to chat with. What do you guys think's like? I know like you joined like late, I guess, last cycle, Cordy. Like, what do you guys think is going to happen through the end of the year this year? Like, personally, I think this whole craze is going to continue into next year, like pretty deep into it. But it seems like there's always a bit of a sell off like near the end of the year. Like usually there's a Christmas pump, like, people go around for holidays and talk about crypto and specific coins to their families, and people buy shit, and then like things like seem to cool off as people like do tax planning and cut bags, sell shit, and then it kind of picks back up in January. I don't know if it repeats that this time, like with how big things seem to be right now and Bitcoin going insane. Like obviously people are going to be talking about crypto and Bitcoin at Thanksgiving next week, and that's probably going to continue all through December into Christmas. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen through year end, and what's your plans for it?
I think through your end mania, starting into the beginning of the year, most of the quants I talk to, quants, being subjective, right? But like most of the major really good traders I talk to are going to be de-risking Q1, Q2 next year. I mean, obviously that's like tentative, right? Like April, come taxes, probably going to see some dumps. But I will say, like, keep in mind, like, dude, Pepe and all that shit was like when ETH was in the gutter, right? Like, I mean, I don't think major prices, as long as they stay somewhat steady, if that's lower, if that's higher, I think on-chain's just going to flourish. And especially if on-chain, if Solana becomes like the new sports betting or becomes the new craze just to try and make a quick buck, I see that staying around for a long time. And that's going to be good for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the next like 2 to 3 months are there's just gonna be infinite euphoria. Um, I think that I kind of made a promise to myself like a while back that I was gonna be like same thing, like heavily start de-risking either end of December just for like the actual like timestamp date of like when I'm paying. Um, but like have a lot out at least before February, even though I know that a lot of stuff is probably gonna go higher. Um, I just want to be like de-risked heavy before February, and then just stick to the plan of just run it up, rotate back out, run it up, rotate out. Like always leave a trading portfolio. But I just think that like no, it doesn't really seem like anyone is prepared for like what's about to happen. I'm like a Giga Moon boy, like pop cat to $20 type shit.
February's been an insane month for crypto in like
Yeah.
past years. Like absolutely, like I've had some of my best months in February. I think I even had an ENS called like February's finest or something. I hit my biggest win in February once.
No, yeah,
I'll
I
probably
think
hold
that
stuff through then for sure.
yeah, I think meme coin moon boys are actually gonna like make it.
I'd hope so.
Well, a lot of them won't sell, so
A
they'll
lot
make
of
it
them
on
won't
paper.
sell, which is why it allows some people to make it and some
Yeah, it will
don't.
allow some
Like
people to make it, but I
it
think a lot of
allows
them will
some
make it
people to
on
make it.
paper and then not make it.
Rowdy actually like brought something up to me the other day. We were talking about it on his stream. like a lot of these like known wallets, like DMT, like the infamous Pepe whale, like he was talking to me about how like what if those guys just like never sell, but like they just like open like massive short positions at the top as like a hedge.
Fuck it, maybe.
I mean, DMT's already taken a ton
Fuck
out
it.
of Pepe and
DMT
on
has
other
taken
things,
a ton out.
yeah, so it's like I don't know. They've kind of already made it, so I think they're okay riding it to whatever it goes
Is
to.
that a goal of any of your guys's to try and time some GCR level shorts?
No, I'm not a leverage trader.
I'm too retarded for that, sadly.
I try to stay away from the leverage stuff. I do think it's a really smart way to hedge positions that you hold like big spot in, but I don't know. We talked about this in the last pod with Rec as well. Like, I'm just not as skilled with any type of like leverage perps trading as I am with stuff on chain, and I'd rather just kind of lean into my strengths and manage those positions than get too deeply involved with that and overcomplicate things. I think it's fine to like dabble with it with like small risk or small size or even paper trade it. I don't love the idea of paper trading because I think the best way to learn is with actual skin in the game. But yeah, I'm not big on it because I don't really want to go through that learning right now just because it's not my major strength. I'd rather lean into what I'm good at.
Yeah, no, it's completely valid. I've always told myself my third cycle is when I will actually learn some new tech. But for now, I've had a very successful year. I gotta just keep rolling with what I've been rolling with. I can't mess up the system now. I can't rinse myself on some leverage trading. That would just be stupid at this point.
I mean, that being said, though, like a market like this is probably the best time to learn it if you're gonna do it because it is a lot less risky. Like there are a lot of charts out there that if you've been studying charts, even if you're not like an expert with technical analysis, you get a pretty damn good feel for like when things are going to go down or when something is like it's gone up too much. Like, yeah, this is definitely going to go down. Like this is following a pattern that similar coins, like if you're looking at AI coins and like one is trending way higher than the rest and like it just doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, you could probably short that and make money, right? Like I think that it's a bit easier in a market that's this hot to predict where price movements are going to go on certain charts, like depending on what you're looking at and if you're building those patterns and studying specific charts and coins long periods of time, you can kind of figure that out. So like if you're going to learn, maybe a market like this is best to do it in. I just haven't really dove into it yet.
Yeah, that's valid.
I'm curious, like I'm like intrigued by platforms like OX Fun or Breakpoint, for example. Like that's the one that TraderMain did. Like there are leverage or perps platforms you can utilize right now to long and short meme coins, which I think is really interesting. It's like similar to like what people were doing to hedge. You know, like if they were in a big position on like a MAGA coin or a Trump coin, they would hedge on Polymarket with like the opposite candidate, right? Like you can do that for large spot meme coin positions right now by longing or shorting, depending on what direction would help you hedge. You could do it on platforms like that. Obviously, if you're outside the U.S., like you have more exchange options to do that on. Like it's tough in the U.S., but there are smaller platforms in the U.S. that you can get on and do that with right now.
Yeah, that's definitely very interesting. But I think we'll go ahead and call it quits because I definitely got to go. I got to go work out. Got to keep up the health during these hard-working times. But Cordy, thank you for coming on today, man. I really appreciate it. It was nice talking to you.
No, that was a lot of fun. I like talking. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I wish wealth and prosperity to each and every one of you, and I hope you continue to kill it like I have seen you guys killing it already.
Likewise, brother.
Same to you, man.
Likewise.
Have a great
Thanks
one.
for coming on.
Yep, for sure. Thank y'all so much for listening. Peace.